In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to get started with the Vormator challenge. One of our goals is to not only create something unique with the limited shapes provided in the Vormator challenge, but to also learn a couple new things in Illustrator. One of the big ones we'll focus on is how to delete and create and use symbols. I noticed in the past on the Illustrator certification there were some questions on symbols, so I wanted to make sure we cover that. So here we go. First things first, if you don't have Illustrator open, go ahead and open that up. We'll create a new document. The document size that I want you to do in class is in the directions, but I'll walk through it here. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to create a new document and we're going to make it 12 inches, IN for inches, and you can actually might want to switch it to inches there first. It's going to be a complete square, 12 inches by 12 inches. As always, we want to give it a name. We want to name it your period number, underscore, last name, first initial, underscore, the name of the project. So for example, mine would be period 1 underscore Hayes R underscore Vormator, and then 12 inches by 12 inches, and you don't need to change anything else. I'm going to click create. It's going to give me a new workspace. Let me open mine up like it's supposed to look. You notice how your artboard here might be cut off. I don't know why Illustrator doesn't auto fit and auto center everything, but Command 0 will do that for you. Command 0 means to fit the screen and to center. Now we need to bring in our Vormator shapes. So you should have downloaded those from the directions. I have mine already previously open, so I'm just going to open them this way. Yours are probably in your download folder. So I'm going to open these up. If you don't have them, pause the video, go to the class website, download them, and you'll notice that we have a series of 8 shapes and they're titled. So I'm going to highlight all of these, and I'm going to Command C to copy. I'm going to come back over to my other tab for my Vormator project, and I'm going to Command V to vomit onto the screen. Alright, Command C to copy, Command V to paste. Now what we want to do is you're going to reuse these symbols or shapes over and over. So you don't want to just take one right now and start building with it, because then it will disappear. So what we're going to do is make symbols out of them. Symbols are shapes that you can reuse over and over. And they could be complex shapes with multiple shapes. They could be little illustrations. They could be almost anything that you draw or create. So I'm going to click on the Zerk. I'm going to come over to my symbols palette. I want to delete whatever default symbols are here. We don't want them. So anytime you open up a window over here, a palette, there is an options in the upper right. And in this one, there's something called select all unused. That means we haven't used any of these, so I'm going to select them all. That's going to allow me to hit the trash can to delete them. I'm going to click yes. Don't worry about it. If you open a new document, those lame symbols will be back. But for this document, it's nice and empty right here, our starter symbols. So now I have my Zerk selected with the selection tool, and almost anything in Illustrator, if you see this symbol, looks like a piece of paper with the left corner tilted, that means new. So if you're trying to figure out how to do a new brush, there'd be something like this. You're trying to figure out a new layer, it'll look like this. Start trying to remember what these icons look like. It'll come handy when you do certification. So I'm going to click on that new symbol. I'm going to call this the Zerk, and I'm going to switch it to a graphic and click OK. Then I'm going to click the next one, the drop. I'm going to do new symbol. I'm going to call it the drop. Switch it to graphic, click OK. Off camera, I'm going to create the rest of these as symbols. I don't need you to watch me do it. Just seems boring and repetitive. So finish up with the rest of the 6 symbols and create them in new symbols so they show up here, and then we'll get started with the next part in the next tutorial.